Deepfake case is what's keeping you on here.
Yeah, so the only reason I'm stuck in Korea is because of this gif of two people kissing.
Yes. So it's like unfair, malicious prosecution, you know?
Because the two people that are claiming I made a deepfake about them, which I never created any deepfake, somebody posted a deepfake in my Discord and I showed it to my stream with my phone like that.
Johnny Somali really walked into that South Korean courtroom, stared straight at the judge, and somehow thought lying under oath was a genius plan. What he actually did was blow up his own defense in the most dramatic way possible, practically trapping himself in South Korea for years to come. Watching his entire downfall play out in real time feels like a full-on internet saga. One of those moments you can't look away from. His latest court appearance took place on October 29th, and this wasn't just another small update. This was the day the court finally got to hear Johnny speak for himself, to see if he could clear up his side of the story and explain what really happened behind all those accusations. But instead of saving himself, Johnny managed to dig his hole even deeper, turning an already messy case into a total legal disaster. Originally, the trial was set to feature testimony from three people: Johnny, his roommate Hank, and Bong Bong, the Korean streamer caught up in that deepfake controversy. But things went off track fast. Bong Bong didn't even show up, not because she was scared or trying to dodge the court. She was literally in Australia on vacation, living her life. And according to her own live stream, her lawyer told her she didn't even need to be there that day. She even said straight up that she didn't want to waste another second of her life on Johnny Somali. Just think about that for a moment. Being so disliked that the very person you targeted doesn't even feel it's worth showing up to your own trial. That's not just a loss, that's pure humiliation. But the court didn't stop or delay the hearing just because she wasn't there. The show went on, and that's when Johnny completely destroyed his own case. According to legal experts and people who were actually inside that courtroom, his testimony turned into a total disaster. It was like watching a live demonstration of what not to do in front of a judge.
What happened now was Johnny pressed charges against Youngman. Youngman is one of the people who pressed charges against him for the deepfakes. So currently Johnny is facing 2 counts of deepfake charges. One is from the Korean streamer by the name of Bong Bong, and the other one is from the Korean streamer by the name of Youngman.
From the very beginning, he leaned on the same tired excuses. I don't know, I don't remember, over and over again. But the issue was obvious. He kept using those lines for questions where everyone knew he did know the answer. When the court asked him about how the deepfake material was shared, he tried to dodge responsibility. He claimed the police had already proven he didn't make those videos himself, like that somehow made him innocent. What he either didn't realize or chose to ignore is that under South Korean law, spreading that type of harmful material is treated just as seriously as creating it. You don't get to shrug it off just because your hands weren't on the editing software. And the judge didn't let that slide. Not for a second. Johnny kept clinging to the same line, repeating that he didn't make anything, as if that was his golden ticket out. But there's video footage showing him laughing, bragging, and displaying that same content during a live stream right in front of thousands of people. Then came the part that shocked everyone. He tried to flip the script. Johnny actually claimed that Bong Bong, the victim, was the one who shared the clips first. Yes, he said that while sitting in court with evidence being played right in front of him. And if that wasn't wild enough, he went further, claiming that Bong Bong leaked his address, only to immediately trip over his own words. He followed that by saying he didn't even know his own address, basically proving he couldn't possibly know whether it had been leaked or not. He didn't just slip up once, he flat out contradicted himself right there in the same line of testimony. This wasn't confusion or nerves. This was a judge sitting there, watching a defendant tie himself in knots, desperate to dodge responsibility.
Me and my Korean girlfriend, look, you see? Y'all jealous, y'all getting like this. Look at me, y'all really wish y'all had it like this.
Then came what people are now calling the baton incident, the supposed altercation involving Johnny, Bong Bong's associate, a young man, and Johnny's own roommate, Hank. Johnny painted it as the most terrifying day of his life, a moment filled with panic and trauma. But the second the judge asked for basic details, suddenly his memory went blank. He couldn't remember who brought the baton. He couldn't remember how it appeared. He couldn't recall the key parts of the confrontation, which is way too convenient considering there's video evidence clearly showing Hank, his roommate, as the one who actually brought the baton to the scene. So what's the truth here? Either Johnny was trying to protect his friend, or his memory only seems to disappear when the truth might make him look bad. Either way, the judge wasn't buying it, not even a little. And just when everyone thought the chaos was over, Johnny did something that left the courtroom speechless. Right in the middle of his testimony, he tried to introduce his own video evidence on the spot. He literally pulled it out like he was on a live stream, ready to show a clip to his audience. The judge had to stop him several times, explaining that's not how courtroom procedure works. Every interruption made him look even less prepared and even more out of touch with how serious the situation really was. By that point, the whole hearing had turned into something closer to an interrogation. The judge kept pressing him, pointing out inconsistencies, asking direct follow-ups, and each time Johnny dodged or stumbled. It became a slow, painful breakdown of his credibility, right there in front of everyone. And somehow, he still wasn't done. After all that chaos, the contradictions, the excuses, the blame shifting, Johnny actually stood up and asked for an expedited trial. He said he needed to head back to the United States because of family obligations. The courtroom couldn't believe it. After everything that just happened, he really thought he could speed things up.
I want to ask you if there's any way we could do expedited trial, because I've already been here for over 1 year in travel ban. I have family, I have obligations in America, and I want to have the right to a speedy trial.
That might be one of the boldest lies Johnny Somali has ever tried to sell. This is the same Johnny whose own parents have openly distanced themselves from him. His father has even publicly told him to stop traveling around, stirring up chaos and embarrassing the family. Johnny himself has admitted during his own live streams that his family is angry, frustrated, and wants nothing to do with his reckless behavior. So when he stood there in court and claimed he needed to rush home for family reasons, it was pure manipulation. And the judge saw right through it. She immediately shut it down, calmly reminding him that foreign defendants in South Korea can wait years before their cases wrap up, sometimes as long as 2 years or more. Johnny wasn't special. He wasn't entitled to any shortcuts or special treatment, and the judge made that crystal clear. When his request got denied, the message was loud and clear, and the court didn't care about his excuses, his online fame, or his attitude. He wasn't in control of the narrative anymore. And his lawyer? Completely ineffective. The defense spent almost 30 minutes arguing over a charge Johnny had already admitted to. His attorney tried to downplay the disruption he caused at the amusement park, saying it shouldn't count as obstruction because it only lasted 10 to 15 minutes, not 30. But that argument made zero sense under Korean law. There's no minimum time requirement for causing a disturbance. If you interrupt operations at all, you're guilty. Johnny's actions, forcing security to intervene, shutting down a ride, and making inappropriate remarks near kids, were more than enough. The judge dismissed the entire argument in seconds, barely giving it a moment's thought. And just when you think his situation couldn't possibly get worse, it did. The court officially scheduled the next hearing for February 11th, 2026, over 3 months away. And even that's not the final trial date. It's just a setup hearing, mainly to see if Bong Bong decides to attend this time. But since she's already shown she's perfectly comfortable skipping court to travel abroad, there's a real chance this could drag out even longer. If she doesn't appear again, the entire process gets delayed again and again, leaving Johnny stuck in South Korea, waiting, while the legal walls keep closing in around him. Now, Johnny's already been stuck in South Korea for over a year, and now it looks like that might just be the beginning. Add another 3 months, factor in more possible delays, closing arguments, and eventually sentencing, and suddenly this whole ordeal could easily stretch deep into summer 2026 or even longer. Legal experts say it's not unrealistic to think Johnny could end up trapped in South Korea for 2 years or more. And that's before any prison time even starts. Even Hank, the so-called tough guy roommate, couldn't handle the pressure. He reportedly asked to testify in a private room because he was too nervous about having spectators in court. The same guy who once showed up to confrontations with a baton is now asking for protection inside a courtroom. The irony couldn't be stronger. And after the hearing, when reporters tried to get a comment from Johnny, there was no sign of remorse, no self-reflection, nothing. Instead, he lashed out, throwing insults and even taking cheap shots at people's families. The exact same kind of behavior that got him in trouble in the first place. So now, where does that leave him? Johnny Somali is stuck indefinitely, facing up to 12 years behind bars. The court has no sympathy, the system feels no urgency, and there's no easy escape route left. This isn't cancel culture. This isn't online drama. This is real life, and it's the result of months of harassment, disrespect, and cultural arrogance finally coming full circle. Sometimes karma doesn't arrive like a movie ending. It's slow, methodical, and absolutely relentless. Watching someone who built their whole online identity around chaos finally have to face the consequences. That's not just poetic justice, that's accountability in action. So what's your take on this? Do you think Johnny truly deserves to be stuck in Korea for years, or did he finally cross the line too far? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment your opinion. See you on the next one.